All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Focus versus 120, also known as ER-Ling or Yi-Ling. But since his name is ER0 here, I'll go ahead and just call him ER-Ling. So this matchup, Orc versus Undead, not the best of intros, I'm sorry. I'm just making this up all off the cuff, and you'd think after 9 years of opening up with WarCraft 3 intros, I'd be a little bit more polished. Well, busy day, trying to get some casting in between lunch before I head out to take care of my kids once more. And well, there's always lots of things to do. For all of you guys who are in the United States, I will be, well, for everyone actually, I will be celebrating 4th of July. I'll be traveling for a while, so there will be no casts for next week. For all of you guys out there who are severely disappointed and want to see more WarCraft 3 coverage, I do have, well, literally thousands of videos on YouTube that you guys can check out. Also, back to WarCraft and all of the other guys out there, they are still producing content as a full-time job as well, so hats off to them, keeping the community alive and interested. Also, Grubby continuing to do a lot of casting and streaming as well. So why am I promoting other people? Well, I think that rather than trying to make sure I take my share of the pie, I think by making esports and making WarCraft 3 bigger, we can grow the pie. And, you know, in that sense, I get a bigger slice of the pie. Well, not, well, percentage-wise, it's the same, but I get more volume. I guess is what I'm saying right there. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. Ghoul is now going to be coming out. Tomb of Relics is already out. Death Knight is going to go ahead, pick up Rod of Necromancy, maybe a Dust of Appearance. No, decides to forego that as he now heads out across the map. Meanwhile, well, Fly throwing me for a little bit of a loop, actually going for a Farseer first. Farseer is not the typical unit that you often see in a matchup like this, and I'm really wondering what the Farseer is going to hope to do. Farseer, very, very useful in the matchup, does a lot of damage with the help of those Spirit Wolves, but Destroyers generally shut them down. His long-term strategy may be that, you know what, I don't really have to worry about the Destroyers if I go enough anti-air somewhere else. Alright, you can take a look. A lot of easy, quick damage there. Farseer going to purposely back off, splitting the damage between the rogues now. And so much damage being done. Death Coil definitely late as the Death Knight gets no extra experience whatsoever. Farseer now doing a bit of chasing. Death Knight still sitting at level 1. I believe the Farseer is actually faster. Movement speed is fast. I'm sure movement speed is fast on a Death Knight as well, even without Unholy Aura. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, that was annoying me. My apologies. Now, Farseer using... Oh, beautiful use of the Cloak of Shadows. Cloak of Shadows allows a hero to actually hide during the day. So you saw that that skeletal minion was trying to use or trying to get a shot off onto that Farseer, actually unable to do so. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this skeletal minion trying to get some damage onto a peon. That is pretty much going to be all for naught. Death Knight, is he going to come back around the corner? No, going to attack, get some skeletal minions before making its rounds out, and now make its way over. Meanwhile, Farseer has already gotten the kill, picked up the Mantle of Intelligence, now going after the other units here. Alright, low hit point Spirit Wolf already backing up, purposely doing exactly that, as the, well, Crypt Fiend is going to have a little bit of a difficult time because of these Spirit Wolves. Spirit Wolves, 11 to 12 normal damage against that medium armor, and that does fall rather quick. Let's take a look. Continuing ensnares onto the skeletal minions will give the Farseer more and more experience again, and the Death Knight is also running low on mana. Death Knight still sitting at level 1. ER-Ling in a little bit of trouble at this stage. As you're going to see, 4 Stroll Trappers going to get taken down. There goes one. Is it the Farseer now just going to back away? Wants to actually have a little bit of sight around these trees just in case the Death Knight is going to be coming around the corner. That's one of the benefits, or one of the things I like about WarCraft 3. There is actual line of sight. You can't tell because I had to turn off Fog of War, but you cannot see around trees, unlike the original StarCraft, where it was just high ground and low ground, and somehow if there was a giant cavern in your way, or a giant wall in your way, but the level was the same on the other side of that wall, you were able to see it. Let's go ahead and continue the attacks now. A skeletal minion gonna get taken down. There it goes. Level 3 now onto the Farseer, and the level 2 Spirit Wolves with their critical strike damage gonna be pose a bigger threat. Farseer now needs to try and get away. You can see the damage is slowly adding back up, and well, what is this beautiful use of, well, no, didn't even use a healing salve. So somehow the Farseer is just off over here. Death Knight may have a little bit of trouble. Death Knight taking a little bit of damage, and now what is the Farseer hoping to do? Is the Farseer going to be able to push that unit back? Needs to be using that healing salve now. There it goes, as the Tauren Chieftain is going to be added in as well. We could be going into some sort of chain wave strategy. Tauren Chieftain going to be making its way over. There are the Spirit Wolves quickly getting ensnared. However, those dire wolves dealing critical strike damage onto medium armor, those are taken out very, very fast. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain on the other side gets slowed, but the Rock Golem will end up getting taken down. Wand of Mana Stealing also on that Tauren Chieftain. He'll get to level 2 without a problem, and now add that very useful, Endurance Aura. Alright, Rogue using that lightning shield, causing a lot of problems. There goes one rogue, down it goes. Death Knight still seeing that level 2, as the Lich is just about to make its way out. Now both of these armies are just trying to build up, well, their respective armies to figure out what the follow-up play is going to be. Crypt Fiend could easily get taken down there. There's the Death Coil, beautifully done. Follow-up Chain Lightning while the Death Knight's Death Coil was in transit. Alright, Frost Armor now there. Is the Tauren Chieftain going to be able to perhaps shockwave the unit? No, it's not. There's a big stomp. It is a stomp chain, finishing off 2 Crypt Fiends in record time. Meanwhile, Death Knight, trapping in this unit here. Tauren Chieftain may try to make its way back out. Farseer needs to get away as well. As you see, Scroll of Speed now being used. All of those units will be able to get away, but Fly playing this game absolutely beautifully, minimizing his losses, getting in a lot of damage, while also leveling up his heroes. The Death Knight still sitting at level 2, Lich still sitting at level 1. Death Knight will get to 3 off of this creep camp, but the story is really whether or not Fly can continue this pressure to keep this momentum and, well, his advantage going. Tauren Chieftain could easily throw down a stomp right now. Looks like he's not going to be doing that. Picking or selling some items, picking up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Tome of Knowledge given to the Farseer, as the Farseer adds 1 of every single stat. Back across here, Obsidian Statues, Death Knight, Lich, all here ready to go. The Lich is actually very scary, though, with that Orb of Corruption with double Gloves of Haste. That's not something that you would notice very quickly unless you clicked on that Lich. But that Lich is going to be able to deal a lot of, apply that negative debuff. And if for some reason Ling wants to, he wants to try and spread around that debuff, he can do that and get multiple units with that negative debuff fairly fast. 48 supply compared to 31, though. It looks as though Death Knight is going to be able to get in a Death Coil. 1 Ghoul will get taken down. That Frost Armor really making it tough to finish off the unit, as this Grunt isn't going to be able to get away. Grunt down to 186 hit points. It is still alive. There's a big stomp right there, trying to get in more damage again. And let's take a look at it. There goes a Grunt, another Grunt. Chain Lightning finishes off the Crypt Fiend, but the Death Knight, well, now could be in trouble as well. There goes another Grunt. Alright, so Fly actually losing a lot more in this battle than I would have expected previously. Also, the Tauren Chieftain didn't use a Stomp earlier. I would have expected a Stomp in order to prevent any sort of town portal, and if he could do that in time and then follow up with additional damage, that would have been enough. Spirit Wolves gonna finish off here. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 3. You can see Troll Headhunters are already out onto the field. Meanwhile, Obsidian Statues making their way off to the north. They want to put pressure onto the expansion here. Meanwhile, Orc Burrows and other upgrades show fortified armor. All right, let's take a look. Are we getting, it looked like Oh, did we get a level? Yes, Farseer got to level 4 now, as the units are now backing off every which way. Tauren Chieftain is going to catch all this. Are we perhaps going to get an ensnare or so? No, just wandering around. And ERling knows that he cannot hope to engage right now. Ensnare onto that Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend could get taken down. Tauren Chieftain right there, here, ready to go. Let's take a look at it. Down it goes. Death Knight going straight after, gets ensnared. Are we going to see a potion? Yes, no, a stomp. Stomp quickly stunning everything right there. Death Knight using that potion of lesser invulnerability in time, as the Death Knight could be or get into a little bit of trouble himself. Tauren Chieftain down to 400 hit points and dropping quickly. Does have a potion of lesser invulnerability, uses it, but is it going to be enough? Chain Lightning finishes off some more units. Tauren Chieftain down to 145. He needs to get away. He does not have that many hit points. Death Knight, oh, Scroll of Town Portal used. Perhaps he was trying to bait a Death Coil from the Death Knight to make ERling waste 75 mana, but no such luck there. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain quickly getting Healing Salve back up, Clarity Potion as well. Farseer, Tauren Chieftain really need a refresh before they go into that next fight. Alright. Farseer sitting at 4, Tauren Chieftain sitting at 3. Troll Headhunters are not turning into Berserkers as of yet. We haven't seen a large number of Destroyers either. And what's interesting about this particular unit composition is that the Feral Spirit is actually very, very strong against those Crypt Fiends. And especially if they level up one more time, level 2 or level 3 Feral Spirits, who naturally have Shadow Walk when they're not attacking, can deal a large amount of damage. And then, coupled with the fact that the actual real counter to them would already be countered by these Troll Headhunters, it almost forces ERling to not allow him to go into Destroyers unless he's dealt with the Headhunters first. But there's just simply so many Headhunters that may not work out well. Dark Ranger, however, getting an army of skeletal minions, that means that the Lich should, well, the Lich could have a lot of mana if it eventually gets Dark Ritual. But as you know, the Lich had went for Frost Armor and Frost Nova, so it is going to be a little bit more difficult there. Death Knight trying to chase, gets in a stomp, or gets stomped by the Tauren Chieftain, but still alive at least for now. There goes another Raider here. As you can see, the Skeletal Minion army could pose a problem. A big stomp across multiple units again. Kodo Beast not eating the necessary targets. There goes one. Are we going to see another? Let's take a look. Tauren Chieftain trying to get away. Kodo Beast trying to get in front of the units. As you can take a look, what's going on here? Tauren Chieftain now trying to bring across over here. Kodo Beast, well, slowly being digested, and that one Crypt Fiend will get taken out as the Crypt Fiend gets regurgitated back onto the field. Death Coil in time that time around. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Let's take a look, and this is not going well for Fly. He had such a large advantage earlier, but ERling has closed in the difference and now taken a sizable supply advantage, as you cannot account for the additional workers that Fly has. Back across here, Death Knight sitting at 4. Lich is at 3. Dark Ranger could get to level 3 as well. I don't know what the abilities are as of yet. Meanwhile, Farseer is at 4. Tauren Chieftain just shy of 4, as Clarity Potions are getting added in. Fly versus 120. Both sides still fighting their way through. Skeletal Minion, it's gonna get ensnared. Level 4 now on the Tauren Chieftain. That's a big upgrade, as Endurance Aura level 2. Wait, nope, hasn't used it yet. It could be Endurance Aura level 2. A big upgrade there as the Tauren Chieftain makes his way, puts his foot down, and dealing massive damage. Obsidian Statue gonna get taken out. Silence now on the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain still wandering around. He has not used that ability. If any of these units are able to get away, or the amount of damage is just not quite enough, that could be the reason why the Tauren Chieftain still has not used that second ability yet. However, it looks like Fly is still going to come out ahead. Farseer is here ready to go. There are Destroyers out onto the field, but as we mentioned earlier, the Troll Headhunter count is so high that, well, you have to be very careful. Death Coil a second late again, split second late once more, as 2 Crypt Fiends get taken down. Alright, Tauren Chieftain finally used that second ability. Raiders now joining in on the fight. Let's take a look. Skeletal minions will all get finished off here. Ling has a supply advantage, a 6 supply advantage, as we're going to go into another fight again. Tauren Chieftain still fighting their way through. Headhunters trying to back up. Farseer in a little bit of trouble. Kodo Beast actually eating a skeletal minion, now trying to get away, down to 122 hit points. Will be able to do exactly that. Farseer still dancing back and forth, and there is not enough headhunters any longer. I take it back. I thought there was simply too many headhunters for these destroyers to be effective. But this may be one of those instances where the Tauren Chieftain not having the Endurance Aura earlier, not having the units all attack slightly faster, could have made a big impact on the game. Alright, Farseer, Tauren Chieftain, all these units are coming across. Tauren Chieftain purposely is trying to stay away. Kodo Beast also getting healed back up as well. Let's take a look at this. Armies are just chasing after all of those units. One more shot could take it down. Yes, a little bit more experience again, as the skeletal minions are just trying to disrupt the healing on these units, and they are currently unable to do so. More peons being transferred over. 50 supply compared to 50. Both sides are even. Raiders getting added in as well, as there is still a, well, relatively low-level creep camp near the base to try and work through. Tauren Chieftain should have no problem finishing off this creep camp here. No Vampiric Aura. I believe there was Vampiric Aura earlier, but no, that was sold. And now let's see what's going to be happening next. Farseer, Clarity Potion. Tauren Chieftain, is it going to use any sort of potions? Has a potion of mana. Should be looking at a potion of healing, already down to sub 800 hit points, and not even ready. Well, it's going to have to be ready for that next fight. Ghouls going after the peons now. Units are now chasing their way. 50 compared to 56. Ensnare onto the Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue does have Frost Armor now, but it may not matter. Raider going to get taken down. There it goes. Tauren Chieftain is currently silenced. Well, some jury rigging happening right there, as you take a look. Down goes, well, nope, not a hero. I thought a hero got taken out. Nope, no hero, just a lot of other units, as the Farseer and the Tauren Chieftain both sit at level 5. Tauren Chieftain has level 3 Stomp, most likely trying to get into position. Is he going to get silenced right here, just trying to walk around? There's the silence now, massing up all of that damage. Tauren Chieftain, Chain Lightning following it up again, and bouncing through once more. Troll Berserk, or Headhunters, trying to finish off more units again. Just focus down that Destroyer, and it will pretty much be over, as the Spirit Wolves will be able to run rabid once more. Death Knight, Death Coil saves the Crypt Fiend. Tauren Chieftain still chasing up after all of those units. Another Crypt Fiend gonna get taken down. There's a Chain Lightning. Oh, wow, multiple units bouncing around, getting lost there. Tauren Chieftain pretty much stomps on that Crypt Fiend there to take him out. As we could see in an Obsidian Statue, yes, just simply get ensnared. 39 compared to 40. Farseer is almost at 6. Tauren Chieftain sitting at 5. Alright, Obsidian Statue about to get taken down. It gets taken down. Destroyer has, well, maximum mana again due to that absorb mana. Trying to finish off more of those units. As well, you can see Death Knight finally getting taken out at the hands of a Chain Lightning. There it goes. Tauren Chieftain now making its way down to the south. 38 supply compared to 32. Death Knight, is it just resurrected at the tavern? Yes, it is, to get it back into that game. 1-0 upgrades. Meanwhile, Lich sitting at 4. Death Knight is at 5. Dark Ranger is at 4 as well. So it's a 5-4-4 going up to against a 6-5. Farseer does not have, I repeat, does not have the option to really channel Earthquake. Silence from the Dark Ranger would normally shut it down, and you'd never want a AoE or such an easy ability to stop such a powerful ultimate ability. Chain Lightning following it up. Death Knight trying to stay alive. Uses a potion of invulnerability in time. Meanwhile, Lich is in trouble. Lich is about to get taken down. 1 or 2 more shots. Chain Lightning finishes off in addition to the Death Knight. And that is going to be it. Fly lost a little bit of ground, but came back strong for the win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.